All right, so this is the first episode, technically the first episode of Talking with Tony on a train with a train, and I have a few friends that are going to join me in playing a copy of Ticket to Ride Amsterdam while we're on the Empire Builder heading west to Seattle, and they are going to Montana. First I'm just going to have them jump in and introduce themselves real quick and just tell us where they're at, and then we're going to start a demo. Alright? Just kind of lean in.
Well, my name is Noah, and yeah, we're all from Abbotsford, and central Wisconsin pretty much.
Alright.
My name is Garrett, and like he said, we're from Abbotsford, Wisconsin.
My name's Aaron. Yep, I'm with these guys too, so yep, I'm going up to Montana, having a great time.
And these guys just happened upon me, and I'm just playing games. So that's what we're doing, and we're going to now get started on this. Okay, let me reframe it up. I'm so not professional, folks, but please be kind. Alright, so what we're going to be playing today is Ticket to Ride Amsterdam by Days of Wonder. This is one of their mini games that's been released. It plays just like the original game, for those of you who already know what the game is about. But this is basically a track building resource management game with secret scoring added into the mix, which makes things crazy. It is a Euro game that has a point tracker around the outside of the board. That's how we keep track of the points until we get our secret point reveals, which is always the surprise at the end of a game. So what we do when we start is that we all get to pick some form of cart. These are normally trains in the normal game, but these are carts because we're playing in Amsterdam pre Industrial Revolution and trains, so we're just claiming areas within the city and neighborhoods of Amsterdam to buy trade routes and collect our contracts. So first thing we do is we pick out colors, and feel free, anybody, just reach and grab. Fight. I'll take what's left. Gold. I like gold. I start with gold. So these guys have played before, but I'm just going to kind of go through a very fast discussion as we begin. So we're going to do this as we play. The next thing that we do is that we deal out contract cards. Now these contract cards, as you can see, they correspond with cities on the map. And the way you score these is that you have to connect with your color of train to any place on the map. So, and you can take any route that you desire. As long as these two cities are connected by your color of train, you get to score it. And this is kept secret until the end of the game, and it's a surprise score at the end if you've completed it. If you own one of these and you do not complete it, you lose that many points at the end of the game, as also is a big surprise to yourself. So when we start out, everybody gets 2 of these contract cards, right? And these are secret, of course, like with all cards, and they must keep at least one. You cannot, but you can keep both, and they can look at that for right now. And the next thing that we're doing, while they're making up their mind, I'm going to describe the resource cards. The resource cards have different colors, as you can see, including there's a wild card, okay? The wild card will count as any color on the route. In order to claim a route, you have to have the same color coordinated groups within the route that you want, okay? If they are gray, they are any color, but all of them have to match the color. So if I wanted to take this nice gray route, I would still have to have 1, 2, 3, 4 pink cards from this hand to discard, claim it, and then I would get to fill.
Thank you for traveling Amtrak. Also, all purchases in the lounge car are credit cards only. Credit card purchases only in the lounge car, and you must be wearing a mask at all times while you're in the lounge car. Mask must be worn at all times while you're in the lounge car. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll decide whether you want to edit that out or keep it in for, what do you call it? Ambiance or whatever.
Anyway, back to what we were talking about. You would have to have you have to match your colors to claim a route. And if you're looking at one of these gray routes, that means you can match it any color, but you must have the same color to match it. So in other words, to claim this route of gray places, you would have to have 4 pink, and by doing that, you would score that route by placing your carts on that route. All right. Once you've scored that route,
Do you guys want something weirdo?
I don't get it. Like,
okay, so you need to connect. Go ahead and put that up there. He's had a question. He wants to talk about how do you connect these two, or what does this mean? Well, when you look at this versus the map, right, you will see that it matches up with cities. Like this one is here, Monta Baladas Corin. I'm terrible. Please do not get me for pronunciation. I did not have an American version to bring. Well, I could have brought New York, but that was a taxi cab thing, and I really wasn't interested in taxi cabs. And then to here, Hagaris, whatever. So what you
can do any kind of route as long as you get there.
Yeah, so long as your black trains, oops, don't lose that. I'll send a younger one after you this time. So long as your black trains point a line all the way to the city, yeah, this one here, and that one, right?
right here.
Yeah, long as they complete a route to that city, whether it's all the way around and there's still uninterrupted connection.
Look at that.
Oh, that looks like a. Oh, I don't think that's an oil well. Could that be like a gas tap or maybe even an old landfill? I don't know. Have to
Maybe she has to do.
Yeah. So anyway, so long as edit point, so long as you have a trail of black trains from your colors and they match up those cities and are uninterrupted, you will score that route. It doesn't have to be the most direct route. Like I said, it could go all the way around. And matter of fact, the longer your routes are, the more chances you'll complete other routes while doing that route.
Because like most you put out, you probably.
Yeah. And one of the strategies for these types of cards is that whenever you go to get a route and you have a choice, always try to keep the routes that share cities that you've already connected, or that if you have routes that literally share cities when you're starting out, because it makes it much easier from one starting point to go to two, as opposed to going from two starting points to two ending points. Follow?
Yeah.
How can I explain a little bit better? What are you
Well, like,
on? It's fine, just ask.
like I'm trying to, like, you're saying like 2 start points to 2 ending points, like 2 set rows of trains.
These. You're talking about how to lay them out.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's okay. Each card is worth 1 space on here. Okay. In order to complete this route, you must have 2 pinks or 2 green out of your hand. You got to play them out of your hand, and then you can lay your trains here. And then you claim that route, and then that would score you 2 points immediately. You score as you claim routes, no matter what. What was your question?
So how do you get the wild cards?
The wild cards come up in draws.
Okay.
You could draw them off the top of the deck, or they will be shown out of the bank, which I hadn't gotten to the bank yet, I don't think. All right. So we are clear on how we lay them, how we score them, and what it takes to lay and score them. Correct? Okay. Yes. So now I'm going to take these, put them back on top. Now, I have not dealt out resource cards yet. So now we will go to step 2, as I've described them. and everyone has 2 route cards. Have you decided whether you want both of your route cards or do you want to discard them? I'll flip mine up, it doesn't matter. For the first game, I normally play face up anyway. So here, look at mine. They do not share a starting point. Have a look at my cards. They do not share a starting point or an ending point. So I'm wondering if it would be easy enough for me to make a route that specifically will include this and will come through this city and allow me to connect here or all the way around. But that, for me, seems like it's a little risky. Although it's only a 2-point gain here, that's an 8-point loss if I can't get that one. I could easily get this one in the first couple turns. So, as opposed to trying to get both of them, biting off more than I can chew, I'm going to choose one. And I think I will choose, given the routes I can take between those 2 cities, the 8 points I think would be a better thing, and I don't want to worry about the congestion here, since we're playing a four-player games, meaning that these things add up faster, right? On these single routes, once you claim this route, no one else can claim a route on it. So you own those tracks. It's like buying the railroads or buying the road or paying off the people that let you go through the roads.
All right.
So you buy that track. Let's just talk on trains. You own that track. Now here, there's 2 spots, so 2 people can own tracks on that land, on that area. So if he and I buy these 2, neither one of you 2 can come between this city and this city using that route.
Yeah, mine are kind of a little close together.
Yeah, they are. They also have 2 points, but you can easily get between. You can close them up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because here's Wag and here's this. So yeah, first turn, drop 1 in there. Normally this would all be hidden, so but I'm giving it. First one, drop 1 there, so you've connected both of those cities.
All right.
Right, and then try to, then maybe even connect these 2 cities. Here, connect those, and then you've got several different routes you can take that'll link them. But the minute these are linked, then you have all these options to try to, and all you got to do is link them at 1 point. It doesn't matter. You could go all the way around here and link here, and you'll have all of them on your, so you'll score them both. See?
All right.
All right. Everyone follow with that? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we get should we just start over and get 2 fresh cards again?
If you want, that's fine. I'm not worried. Normally, whenever I play the first game with folks, I play with everything face up so everyone can see what they're doing. It's not about winning; it's about getting through the turns.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe then we can play another game.
It's smack. It's you can talk smack all you want, especially when you see the guy's cards. But then it's just talking smack, which is fine because that's what games are about. You know. One of the coolest things for anyone out there, and one of the coolest things ever is having game nights with your younger children or younger family members, because everyone at the table becomes an equal at that point. And it is great. It is great to watch the 6-year-old tell the 80-year-old grandfather that they can't do that because I've already bought the track. And the rules state that they're right. So there's no because I said so's, But I digress. Okay, so now we know how to place the trains. I've explained how these cards will allow it. Now I'm going to go to the mechanic of how we get the cards.
Okay.
So that's the first thing that we do is we deal out. We decide what we're going to do with our routes. Do we want to keep them? I'm going to discard one just because I'm contrary. All right. This will go over here because you cannot reuse a route. Once you run out of route cards, there's no more left. So if you play a long game, there's nothing you can do. They're out. All right. These are transportation or train resource cards or whatever you want to call them. And in the beginning of the game, you get 2 of those. You get the choice of 2 of those, and I give you 2 cards, which would be normally kept secret. But for purposes of this game, I'm going to flip them. So. Okay, so this is your starting hand, all right? And then when I lay this out, then I get to lay out what I like to call the bank or whatever, which is 5 cards that that's interesting, that everyone can see, all right? The only time this will change is when someone pull something from it and it has to be replenished, or in the initial drop, I get 3 of these in the initial drop. You pick them all up and you put them all back down again, because you don't want to have 3 wilds in the first go around. All right, so that is how you get your cards there. Right now, we're going to talk about the things that you can do in a turn. All right, there are only 3 things you can do on your turn, and you can only do them. You can only do one of the 3 things. The first thing you can do is claim a route. All right. By claiming a route, I mean playing one of your cards and placing a train on a route, right? And then you score 1 point, right? So this would be scored, and since, okay, this is something I could redo, but I'm just getting these out of the way. If we run out of cards, I'll come back and grab that. All right. I just played it because I only had 1 red, and I needed to put something out there so everyone could see what I was doing. It wasn't there to hurt you, really. I promise. I wasn't out to mess you up or anything. So you could claim a route, and I scored a point, and then that would be the end of my turn.
So if you claim one of these routes, no one can use the second one?
No, you could claim the black route.
Oh, okay.
You could still claim the black route.
Okay.
All right. One other rule that I think was in the main game that I didn't go over is that if you have 4 of any one color of card, you can trade it in as a wild card. So if you have 4 pinks in your hand and you need that black, you could trade in 4 pinks to fill a black, and you have to throw them away. But it has to be all the same color to do so. So that's another way you can get that one color that you can never seem to get. All right.
So 4 of any color can get 1 wild color, right?
4 of any color.
Yeah.
You could turn it into 1 of any color on the board. Okay. So now I'm going to go to your turn, right? It doesn't matter. I'm going to go to your turn anyway. Okay. You can do is claim a route. Okay. You can. Here's the other options. You can dig for more resources, grab some transportation cards, and how you do that is you can pick you get 2 cards or 2 points of cards. You can pick 2 cards from the bank, any 2, and then I refill the bank after you've picked both of them.
And that's done with my turn.
Yeah, that's all you can do is one of these 3 things on your turn. So you could pick 2 cards from the bank. You can pick 1 wild card from the bank, because the wild cards are they're worth 2, or they would be picked up every single time. Every game they would just they would forego their turn and just pick up the wild card to keep other people from having it. So they had to give an extra cost to it, and it's 2. All right, or you can take 1 from the bank and 1 from the top of the deck that you don't know.
And it might be a wild.
It could be. Or you could take 2 off the top of the deck. Try your luck, right? You can take up to 2 off the top of your deck.
Oh no, I'd rather be safe than sorry sometimes. But
It's
you
not
know,
it's not
if worse
showing
comes
the
to worse,
cards
you
over
might
there.
want to be taken.
That better? Yeah, there we go. Now they can see these cards. Yep. Okay, so yeah, that's our bank. So, and then the other thing you can do, I'm going to give you the other option. You can go for more routes. Now, I don't think you're going to go for more routes at this point because you need to lay track. But how that works, how to get new contracts is I say I want to get new contracts. And then I secretly hand you 2 contracts. You have to keep 1.
Alright.
You look at them, you decide, I'm just going to reshuffle them back in. So you would look at them, you would determine whether or not which one you want, which one you think you can get, or which one you've already completed. The fun part is if you have like a long route and it's towards the end of the game and you might be behind a few points, you can push your luck. You can push your luck, and
I'll give you both.
yeah, I'm going to reshuffle them back in. Yeah, that'd be the one he would have chosen one of those. But you can press your luck at the end of the game and go for these, and hopefully you've already fixed one of those contracts already, and you don't have to play anything to get it and immediately score points, and that could get you ahead, right? But this is in the late stages of the game when people start gambling. It's like, come on, baby, daddy's got to make payroll, pulling that crank down, you know, that kind of stuff. So,
I know.
okay.
I will take this one.
He's going to spend 2 and take that one. That's the end of his turn. And now I must refill it at the end of his turn. Ooh.
Yeah,
Too bad there isn't any long pink routes.
You know,
I mean,
right?
well, actually, that's actually pretty cool because you can pick up 2 and immediately complete a route on many different areas
Yeah.
if you need it. Okay?
So if I draw 2, can I lay them down?
If you're looking to get more cards, you can choose 2 from here, 1 from here, 2 from here, or 1 from here. You
I'll
just
take
get
2 from the top.
2 from the top. He's gambling.
He's gambling. He's pressing his
Yeah,
luck.
gambling. And those would be secret, but we can flip them up and let people see. It doesn't matter at this point.
Ooh.
We don't care.
Ooh, those are pretty good.
Oh, he's got a good mix there. Nothing to really start an empire on, but he's getting there.
Yeah.
And now, you want me to go over the 3 choices? Okay, the choices are, you can claim a route by playing cards out of your hand, playing your pieces, and scoring a point immediately. That's it. Or you can get more transport or resource cards or track cards by choosing any 2 from here, or a combination of 2 cards from here or from the top of the deck. And if it's a wild card you're choosing from the bank, it costs you 2. So you only get 1 card at that point. And 3, you can go for more contracts, where I pull 2 off the contract, I hand them to you privately, and you have to keep 1. Those are your only 3 options that you can do on your turn. But limitless possibilities. A lot of times the first time people play, or the first turn, is either they draw cards or they try to lay a quick route.